An arrest has been made months after a pedestrian died in a multi-vehicle crash in North Las Vegas. This happened in June at the intersection of Belmont and East Cary. Police say two drivers were spotted driving recklessly before one of them lost control, crashing into two other cars. After crashing, they say the suspect, 26-year-old Bryan Barajas, drove onto the sidewalk and hit a young girl, then ran away. Two other people were hurt in the crash, and the other driver, accused of reckless driving, was arrested for traffic-related charges. Barajas was already in custody at the Clark County Detention Center, actually, on unrelated charges, and he was rebooked earlier today.